I think we alive. Peace, love, harmony, and light. All right. Let me adjust this audio. Make sure we good. All right. Let me adjust. All right. So we have audio. Just gonna give you guys some time to get in to this live feed. Hey, I see you, Polito family. Peace, peace, peace. What's good? What's good? What's good? Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys some time to chime in, and so we could get this build on the way, because I've been telling you guys for a very, 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 very long time as to things that are taking place and things that are actually going to take place, and we are going to talk about a few of those things today. All right, and what I've realized is that a lot of our people are actually distracted. And some of the things I'm going to say in this video, it may or may not resonate with some of you, and it's okay. Not everything is for everybody at a particular time. All right. With that being said, the prior video I did to this one, the last one I did, breaking down, the curse of the pale man. YouTube decided to put a little restriction on that. They said that it's violating their community standards. What I've realized with YouTube and these social media platforms, whenever you are speaking truth, they always want to restrict the truth. It's always violating their community standards. But when it's anything that's belittling our people, or our people are being shown in a derogatory way, or people fighting, that's never violating their standards, though. But for some reason, now that I'm telling the truth, you see, when other people are doing videos calling our people Black and African American and saying we are slaves, it's not violating YouTube standards at all. But now I am telling the truth as to who the real Black people are. All of a sudden, YouTube is telling me I'm violating their standards. I hear you, YouTube, but you know what? My people perish for the lack of knowledge. So I already know what it is. You feel me? And until my people wake up and realize that we have to take back control of our own lives, then we'll continue to go through what we are going through, But for me, I'm going to isolate myself from that, because I'm not going to put myself in the category of the we, because I'm not the we. All right? I am that I am. So I'm going to keep it that way, because I'm not going to manifest those things in my life. I am self-governed. All right? I know who I am, and I'm not a slave. So if people choose to be slaves and choose to be controlled, then that's on them. All I could do is just give you the information. At the end of the day, you do what you want with it. I can't force you to do anything. Why? Because everyone has free will. And I'm not gonna, how would I put it? I'm not gonna infringe on your free will. I'm not gonna do that. So with that being said, I just want to take some time to, give thanks to my ancestors, for, I'm honored. I'm honored to be in the position that I'm in today. Why? Because my ancestors gave me a purpose, more than just a reason for living. They gave me a purpose. And you see, the good thing about finding your purpose is no one could deter you from your purpose. Because you see, it's a conviction in my heart. Once you have found the truth, then you cannot, oh, well, I'm not saying you can't, because many people do, but you should not divert from the truth. Because once you have found the truth, man, and you live in truth, believe me, your life will change. Your life will change. And I just want them to know that I honor them. I see them, I feel them, I hear them. And everything that I do, it's on their behalf. It's in their honor. Okay? And definitely want to give thanks to the Great Spirit, for just giving me that breath of life every single day to do what I do. Wake up at the rise of the sun, or rise with the sun, and I give thanks. I do the sun gazing, I do the meditation, and I do work all day. That's what I do. I study all day. I don't get caught up in the distractions. So as you could see, the title of the video, why are brown people in an uproar over black faces? Brothers and sisters, it's very simple. For those of you who may not know the answer to that, is because our people, for the most part, our people are lost. Okay? Our people are lost because here you are fighting, arguing, you know, losing yourselves in what they call a debate, dealing with situations that has nothing to do with you. Now, I'm gonna look at my complexion, right? I'm a brown cinnamon, okay, complexion. Look at this. This is black, okay? The screen of that TV behind me is black. That's what black is. Now, if we were to, okay, let's say, let us forget the semantics. Let us forget the play on words. Let us not deal with the etymology of the word black. Let us take it literally. Okay? Let us make it literal. Okay? Black is an adjective. An adjective describes a what? A noun. Okay? And that's something we learned in kindergarten. That stuff we learn in, you know, in whatever. At a very tender age, we started going to school. From the moment we could read, they started teaching us those things. Okay? Black is a color. It's an adjective. An adjective describes a noun. So the question is, what or who is the noun? Black is not a noun, but our people are so caught up and so bent, okay, on being, how would I put it? Being so indoctrinated that they don't realize that. It's very, very, very simple. Very, very simple. Black is an adjective, and an adjective describes a noun. What is a noun? A noun is the name of an animal, person, place, or thing. So therefore, if we are the people or the person, which is the noun, and then the color describes the complexion of that person, why are we calling ourselves black? I'm just saying, if we were to take it literally, without going into the etymology of what really black is, which in my last video, I told you black is actually pale. But you see, YouTube don't like the truth. They don't want me to speak the truth, but I'm going to continue to speak the truth because all I know is truth. So I am going to speak it, right? So if I were to describe myself at a color, somebody say, hey, Chief, you know, what's your complexion? Man, I'm brown. I'm copper toned. I'm cinnamon. I'm chocolate. You know, black would never come out of my mouth. Now, maybe yes, in the past, you know, because everybody, hey, at one point we all went with the flow at some point, right? But they say, when you know better, you do better. That's what they say. But I say, you know, that's not true. I'm going to rephrase that and say, when you know better, you should do better. Because obviously, people know better and they are not doing better. So we are not even going into the context or the narrative of when you call yourself black, you make yourself dead in law. We're not even talking about that. We're just going based on what the eyes could see. Literally, look at my complexion. Compare my complexion to the screen of that TV. If I was black, you would not see my hands. You feel me? Because it would what? It would blend in to the television. Okay? That is just common sense. I mean, how much more can I explain this? What's so hard about that for the majority of our people to get? Now, I'm going to even bring it a little closer for you. Let me give you another example. Okay? This is a boot, right? This boot is black. Watch. You see the difference between brown, copper tone, and black? You see the difference? Look. If I were black, my hands would blend in. You would not see my hands against the black boot. So, once again, why is it so hard for the so-called black people African Americans to see this? I don't get it. Well, you know what? I digress, I do. Miseducation, foolish pride, and like I said in the last video, cognitive dissonance. It doesn't matter what you show them, but whatever the slave master or the colonizers taught them, that's what they hold to be true in their heart. It doesn't matter what you tell them. Okay? The majority of our people, anytime somebody who look like them tell them the truth, they always think we have an agenda. But when the colonizer tell them, oh, it's the truth, master said true, so it's true. So now you have this whole social media promotion of Gucci. Oh, I'm gonna boycott Gucci because Gucci put in black faces. Brothers and sisters, go back to the last video that I did. The last video that I did, The Curse of the Pale Man, you will really see who the black people are. So they are telling you the truth. You see, our ancestors have a way of letting the colonizers tell the truth, but because you are so disconnected from your ancestors, you don't know a damn thing that's going on. That is the problem. Y'all are too disconnected. You see, you're too caught up in their religion. You're too caught up in waiting for Jesus to come save you. Jesus ain't coming because Jesus ain't real. He never was. But we're going to get into that too, because we're going to talk about that. I'm going to go more in detail because somebody asked me about that, about Chief. How do you know Jesus ain't real? Well, we'll talk about that later. I'm going to bring it up. Okay? But that's the problem. If you are not black, why are you getting offended when Caucasians or whoever put on black faces? They are telling you the truth. These people want to be black so bad. Give it to them. It belongs to them. Give it to them because they are the real black people. And if you don't know what I mean, go look at my video prior to this one. The one YouTube say I'm violating their standards because, of course, they listen to the video and Chief Kalinago is telling the truth. But you see, nobody's going to stop the truth because it's my ancestors' time. All right? We are running a race. You see, when they speak of race, they're not talking about race in terms of, well, that's just my opinion. When it's my opinion, I'm going to tell you my opinion. I don't think race is about the complexion of people's skin. I think race is about a race to control the resources of Mother Earth. I just think that's what it is. And that's what the race has been for the longest. Okay, those who could reach the top the fastest to control those at the bottom. I personally think that's what the race is really about. But of course, you know, the colonizers, they speak with a folk tongue, meaning that with a double tongue. When they say something, that's not what they mean. And that's what the English language is about. You feel me? How can R-A-C-E, which is race, how can it mean when you run it, that's a race, but at the same time, that same word means the complexion of your skin? How is that in English? So you see, English is not a language. English is just a collective of words and words and words from all different languages put together, took it, threw it against the wall, it fell, and they call it Glish, English, in my opinion. Okay? It is a very deceptive language. It is deceptive. There is no honor in speaking English. That's just a fact. Because that's how you get tricked into contracts that you are not aware of. Because you think when one word means something, then they're going to tell you, oh, well, that's not what I meant. It meant something else. You see, French is one of the purest language on earth. French is one of the purest language on earth. And it's not their language. You see, we give these people too much credit. We give them too much credit. All right? You were talking about a people less than 150 years ago who couldn't read and write. But all of a sudden, they are the father of civilization. They are the father of science. They are the father of math. No, they are not. You're giving them too much credit. You feel me? What they have done is go throughout the entire earth and pillage and rape indigenous people, burn their cultures, burn their evidence, and slap pale faces on everything and say, oh, well, nah, that was us. Nah, it wasn't. Okay? No, it wasn't. But again, our people don't realize that we are the original man. Okay? And there is nothing like the original man. And once again, when I say man, you see, people may look at this and say, oh, well, Chief is racist. And Chief. No, like I said, this has nothing to do with the color of the skin. I'm just speaking truth and facts. Okay? I'm just speaking truth and facts because the truth of the matter is everybody gets to put us in a box. But whenever we speak our truth, all of a sudden, it's a problem. Okay? English is not our language. That's absolutely true. Because on many videos, I have shown you guys that we have many, many languages. In California alone, in the 1800s, they had over 21 languages, actually more than that, in California alone. Just in California alone. Just in California alone. So you figure you're going to go all around the earth, okay? Destroy indigenous people, pillage indigenous people, rape our women, even sodomize our men, and then force our, take away our spiritual beliefs and culture and force religion on us and give us your gods. And our people don't realize that. Jesus is not your savior. Jesus is not our savior. Okay? Jesus is an energy that was created by Rome, by Josephus. And he became popular. He became a star, famous, by Constantine in 325 AD. The man never existed. But like I said, I'm going to touch that a little more. I'm still on why. Why is it that brown people are mad at Gucci for putting on black faces? That's what I'm still on. Okay, I'm still bothered by that. It doesn't pertain to you. Let them be. Let them take their blackness back. Give it back to them. Give them back their Black History Month. It doesn't belong to us. So once again, if you were to be a color in terms of saying, well, you know what? Well, I'm not going to call myself a color anyway, because it's a color is an adjective. So how can you be a color? But however, if I were to describe my skin tone, it would either be brown, copper toned, cinnamon, chocolate. That's it. Nowhere in my vocabulary black would come in. All right? But our people have to realize that the media, okay, your so-called celebrities, they have taken an oath by the invaders to mislead the people. And they come and they tell you, oh, we love our fans. Without you, we wouldn't be anything. Yeah, you're damn right. Without them, you wouldn't be anything. So why don't you tell them the truth? But they can't tell you the truth because they signed contracts. They signed contracts. Yes, we are going to make you successful with materialistic things. However, you cannot tell the people the truth. If you do, then guess what? You will be breaking the terms and conditions of the contract. Brothers and sisters, we live in a contractual world. And everything we do is a contract. The moment you pick up your phone, if you don't make your disclaimer, it's a contract. Okay? Hello is a contract. Because at the moment you pick up your phone, you tell somebody hello, you're contracting them to go to hell and keeping them low. And if they answer to it, they accepted the contract. That's why when people call me or I call people and they say hello, I say no, thank you. I'm not going there. Some of them take offense to what I say. Hey, that's on you, but I'm not going to let you cast no damn spells on me. I'm not going to do it because you're programmed. Don't get mad at me if I'm deprogrammed. Why you getting mad at me? Instead of saying, well, damn, Chief, I didn't think about it that way. You're going to breathe hard. Well, you know what I mean. No, I don't know what you mean. I'm not here to assume or presume anything. Okay? I called you, you pick up the phone, you told me hello. I'm telling you straight up, I'm not going there. I'm not going to hell, and I'm not keeping low. I'm vibing high all the time. So I'm not going to get into contracts like that. No. But that's what they have our people doing. You feel me? You have your home, okay? Then right in front of your door, you have a mat. Welcome. You don't know who is coming to your house, but you have a big mat in front of your door, a big sign, welcome. Not realizing you are welcoming souls into your home that may have negative energies and bringing destruction and chaos into your home. Well, Chief, what are you talking about? Let me ask you a question. Underneath your feet, what do they call it? Don't they call it the sole of your feet? Huh? That's one of your souls. Okay? One of your souls is actually under your feet. Right? So now when they come into your house and they step on that welcome mat, their soul touches the mat and you invite that energy into your home. So now you have some souls, maybe good souls, positive energy. You feel me? But now you have these souls coming into your home with negative energies, and all of a sudden your home is in chaos and you wonder what happened. Because you welcome them. You contracted with them. But you see how these things are done so subliminally, all right? Unbeknownst to you, where you're causing harm to yourself and you don't know what's happening. But they're not going to tell you that because they want to take you to school to teach you 1 + 1 is 2. When the truth of the matter is 1 + 1 is not 2. 1 + 1 could be anything. Because if you have one man, one woman, they get together and they have babies, that baby have baby, they're still part of the 1 and the 2. So 1 + 1 is infinity. But you see, they got you thinking in a box, programmed, indoctrinated, where you're only supposed to think one way, the way they want you to think. You are in survival mode. Okay? There's a difference between living and surviving. A major, major difference. And you have people who are living life. And then you have those who are actually just surviving. So my question to you today is, why do you care? What do you care about Gucci? In the first place, these people don't care about you. You shouldn't be supporting them in the first place. But all of a sudden, you want to boycott Gucci. All of a sudden, you want to boycott all Caucasian businesses. Well, okay, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's say you want to boycott all Caucasian businesses. I have some great ideas where you could start. I have some great ideas where you could start. May I? How about the jails? Stop going to their jails. Okay? Stop hurting your brother and sister to go into their jails because it is all run by them anyway. So if you really want to stop supporting their businesses because they are the ones investing in those jails and those prisons, stop going to their prisons. Stop going to their jails. All right? May I proceed? Sure, why not, Chief? Why don't you stop going to child support, that family court? Because it has nothing to do with your family. It's a business. But you see, and I'm going to speak both ways because I'm not going to be biased here. But our people are so damaged. A lot of our women are so damaged. You feel me? That you have a discrepancy, and it is vice versa because sometimes the men do it as well. But the majority of the times it's the woman because based on research and statistics, So I have to be fair. But there are a lot of men that do the same thing. You have women who are great mothers. I'm talking about great mothers. They love their children. They provide for their children. They want peace. They want love. They want harmony. But because the relationship didn't work out, dude is up in his feelings. He's hurt. So now he want to hurt the woman at any cost. It doesn't matter if his children hurt or not. He want to hurt the woman. Vice versa. Okay? Vice versa. The same things happen. A man wants to be a father. Okay, granted. The relationship didn't work out. Man, it's okay. Things don't always work out, brothers and sisters. Things don't always work out. But something great came out of that relationship or that one night stand. Whatever you had, something great came out of it. What was that? Your child, your children. Now, instead of saying, man, listen, I know we're not going to get along. We may not get along, but let's try to be cordial. Let's work something out for our children's sake. But no, you see, because a lot of us are so caught up into the materialistic world. We have to take our brothers and sisters down because that's what the enemy taught us. That's why I tell you. In fact, I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to show you. Give me a second. Because you see, I'm not just going to talk about it. I'm going to show you. This is the mirror. Okay, it's not a coincidence that my mirror is a turtle. You see, I represent Turtle Island all the time. All right, so you see the mirror is actually a turtle, right? Isn't that cute? Yeah, Turtle Island. All right, I'm a Turtle Islander. But anyway, I'm not just going to tell you, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you who your biggest enemy is. Your biggest enemy is right here. Right here. See, this is my biggest enemy. My biggest enemy is looking at me every single day. That's my biggest enemy. When I look in the mirror, I see my biggest enemy every single day. You know why? Because if I point my finger to the mirror, I'm going to point it right to myself. It's looking at me. Now, I get to make a decision if I'm going to let that image be my enemy or be my friend. Well, I'm going to choose the latter. I choose to let this man in the mirror be my best friend. Look out for my best interest. Teach me, show me how to be the best me that I can be. Because you are your biggest enemy. Nobody's forcing you. Nobody's forcing you to call yourself black. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's forcing you to get on social media or Facebook and put all your personal business out there. Nobody's forcing you to do that. Okay? Nobody's forcing you to do that. You make the choices. And anytime you make the choices, know that choices have what? Consequences. So that's why it's important to know thyself. Know yourself. Take time to know yourself. Take time to grow. Brothers and sisters, there is a lot of work to be done. But because of the distractions, our people aren't going, well, the majority of them aren't going anywhere. Because I'm not going to put that out there for everybody. There are a lot of us that are making moves. Okay? But the truth of the matter is, if only we were able to not get distracted. Why do we have to buy all these expensive clothes? Huh? Why do we have to buy all these expensive phones? I have never owned an iPhone in my entire life. None of my phones have ever cost me over $100. None of them. But yet still, I could go on YouTube. I could go on Facebook, I could go on Instagram, I could text, I could do all that, I could browse the internet. But our people always feel the need to patronize their destruction. Because you know why? That's what you were taught. That's what you were taught. But you see, change comes from the mind, the mindset. You have to change your mind. The settings of your mind. That's why it's called mindset. Your mind is already set on the things that are destructive. Your minds are already set on the things that's bringing you down. So what do you have to do? What do you have to do? You have to change your mindset. Learn to go in your mind and tweak, turn, twist until you are able to get on a frequency that can help you elevate. Because the system is running on your energy. Okay? That's why when you violate their codes, what do they say? You violate their codes, they pull you into a court and they charge with a what? A charge. Right? Because you are nothing but a cell in the matrix. You are nothing but a cell in the matrix. So when you break or violate their codes or their standards or their so-called bylaws, they charge you, and then what? They put you in a jail to continue charging until they feel, well, you know what? You are charged enough. Now you could go back into the matrix and be a slave. I'm just saying, if you open up your eyes, you will see what's happening. Okay? We are the ones supporting our own demise. We are the ones, and who do our people look up to? Again, those same fake ass celebrities. What are they doing for you? You see, they rather take their resources and go help other people in different countries because that's in their contract. We are going to make you successful with materialistic things. However, you cannot help your own. That's here at home. We don't mind you going to Africa. All right? Let me plug this heat out. Okay? We don't mind you going to Africa and helping Africans, but you see your brothers and sisters, the American Aborigines, you can't help them out. Although we will allow you to go give them turkeys on Thanksgiving, that's as much as you could do. But yet still, they love you, right? You're the ones that's always supporting them, right? Because you want to be a star. You want the life that they have. These people have sold their souls. They have sold your souls. And unless you are at a point in your life where you want to save your soul, if that's not what your agenda is, if your agenda is not to save your soul, or your agenda is not to connect back with your ancestors to restore balance back on earth, then you're not going to make it. You're absolutely right. It's not rocket science. You feel me? It's not rocket science at all. So the goal right now is to save your soul. My brothers and sisters, stop focusing on the materialistic things, because I'm going to ask you a very simple question. Even if death is not real, but the physical body goes back into the ground. So for conversation's sake, we're going to say death, but I don't believe in that. It don't exist, in my opinion. Okay? Now, when you so-called die, let me ask you a question. How many cell phones are you taking with you? You could answer those questions for yourself, right? How much of the thousands or millions of dollars you have in the bank are you taking with you? How much of that car with all the expensive rims are you taking with you? How many of those big houses are you taking with you? How many of those expensive purses that you're taking with you? How many of those big screen TVs that you're going to take with you? How many of those $700-800 weaves that you're taking with you? When you die, how much of that are you taking with you to your grave? None of that. So at the ending of the day, I'm going to ask you again, what's really important? You know what's important? What's important is what true wealth is. And you know what true wealth is? True wealth is the friendships that you make in your lifetime. That's what true wealth is. Community. That's what true wealth is. Because you get to take those memories with you. That's what you get to take with you. I mean, yes, you're talking about materialistic things, the estate, yes, you could pass it on, but I'm asking you, what can you take with you? Because what you leave for somebody else is not yours, you're gone. Okay? So I'm talking about what you get to take with you, because you see, we spend so much time focusing on materialistic things, not realizing what we have to take with us is the relationships that we build, the love, that genuine feeling of the heart, integrity, respect, loyalty. That's what we are taking with us. And that's what's important. And the reason why I'm saying all that to say is because that is what we had before we were colonized. You see, yes, we had big cities and we had big civilizations, but that wasn't our focus. Our focus was on community. It was focused on love. But at the same time, we were geniuses. All right? Because truth be told, the American Aborigine, we walked on gold. Okay? We walked on gold and didn't even see a value in it until the colonizers came here and placed the value on our gold and took our gold. We walked on gold. In their books, don't they talk about heaven with the streets paved in gold? Yes, they're talking about the Americas. That's our land, that's our home. But somewhere we got greedy. You know, we forgot that there was a Most High. So we wanted to do our own thing. So we got in dishonor. All right. We got in dishonor, and that's why we are going through what we are going through right now. And to make it even worse, we are here serving deities and gods of the colonizers. And you expect things to work out for you? Nothing is going to work out for you if you keep worshiping the gods of your colonizers. That is just a fact. It's just a fact. So once again, brothers and sisters, I'm going to move on. But I just wanted to touch that for a quick second and let my people know that, man, let these people wear their black faces. Okay? Let them wear their black faces. That's not us. It has nothing to do with us. All right? I don't see an Arab History Month. All right? I don't see a Nigerian History Month. I don't see a Ghanaian History Month. I don't see an Italian History Month. I don't see a Jewish History Month. I don't see a so-called white history month, even if they are not white. Why is there a Black History Month? You see, you don't know that the spell that's being cast, it's not you, but they got you using your energy to celebrate something that's going to benefit them. It's called reverse psychology. A spell that's being cast, but you are the magicians, you are the magi's working the magic, but you are not the one benefiting from the magic. Ain't that a bitch? Think about what I just said. So give them back their Black History Month. Let them paint their faces black. Congratulate them. Oh, congratulations. I'm happy that you know who you are. Instead of getting mad about something that doesn't pertain to you. All right? So I'm going to leave that alone. Let me talk about some other distractions. Because everything that's happening is a distraction. Okay? It's a distraction. Right now, allegedly, ICE, you know ICE, the immigration people, they have about close to 50 to 60,000 people in concentration camps right now, and mostly children. But you don't hear the news talking about that. You don't hear the news talking about it. But they want to talk about R. Kelly. They want to talk about Chris Brown. They want to talk about beef with Carly B and whoever. All those things are distractions. Distractions. And that's all of what people gravitate to. The majority of them gravitate to the low vibrational things. Not realizing, once again, may I remind you, and I will reiterate, that Trump said the country is divided, and the only way that Americans could come together is when they suffer. The man told you on national television. So it's coming, but we're just getting started. So allegedly, again, ICE already has detained over 60,000 people, mostly children, people who are actually indigenous to the Americas. But you have the real immigrants calling them immigrants. Maybe that's another reason why YouTube didn't like my video, because YouTube are owned by immigrants. So you see, when you speak the truth, they're not going to like the truth. But I'm going to continue to speak the truth. All right? Another distraction, well, the ICE thing is not a distraction. It is something that's being done behind the scenes, but you're not seeing it because of the distractions. Another thing that's being done, but you're so distracted you may not know of, is that Monsanto won a great case against an Indian company. Everybody know what Monsanto is, right? If you don't know, look it up. Because they are out to poison indigenous people. Brothers and sisters, they want to wipe you out from the face of the earth. But once again, because of the distraction, or sometimes people are just too comfortable being house slaves, they don't realize that. Okay? There's another possibility of another government shutdown. To me, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Now, that's just my own opinion. Some people may not like that because they depend on the government. Well, you know what? I personally think they're doing us a favor. And I think it's our ancestors that's working, telling our people, man, listen, okay, this government is not for you. It doesn't matter whether it's Republican or Democrat. They don't have your best interests at heart. Go back to being self-sufficient. Go back to being self-governed. Go back to the land. Leave their concrete jungles alone. So I don't care about the shutdown. Actually, I'm in favor of it. Okay? That's just, again, that's just my opinion. I'm in favor of the shutdown, so it doesn't bother me one bit. Another thing that you may not be aware of because you are so distracted is that Virginia passed a bill to legalize abortions after babies are born. Who do you think that's going to affect the most? Because they are making an attempt to reduce the population of the indigenous people. So you see the bigger agenda. That's the bigger agenda. While you focus on everything else, they are doing those things behind the scenes. But do you care about that? Because it's going to affect us the most. 10 to 1, they might be paying a lot of these women to abort their babies. You know why? For many reasons. I believe, again, it's my belief, a few reasons could be because they don't want us to, again, grow in number. That's a reason. Another reason is they are taking the stem cells of these babies, the placenta, okay? They are taking the melanin in these babies and they're selling them. Okay, melanin is what? 300 and something, dollars per gram. That's how much it costs. So think about it. All right? Those are the things about, which is supposed to be news, but they're not talking about that. Another thing is the military is doing drills in downtown LA. Why? And they're screaming to build a wall. What I've already told y'all before, the wall is not to keep Mexicans out. The wall is to keep you in. So if y'all don't want to open up your eyes and realize what's happening and what's going on and prepare yourself, then, hey, like I always say, those who have eyes, let them see, and those who have ears, let them hear. You feel me? Because our people are too distracted. Because you don't need an army. You don't need an army to keep Mexicans out. No, let me rephrase that. You don't need a wall to keep Mexicans out, because you never needed a wall in Afghanistan. I've said that before. You didn't need a wall in Iraq because you sent your goons with guns and you did what you had to do. Why is this wall so significant to keep Mexicans out? Because it's not about keeping Mexicans out. As a matter of fact, the United States Incorporated has treaties with Mexico where Mexicans could come here than you, the Aborigines of this land. And that's a fact. But they're pretending that Mexicans are coming over the border and doing all this and in caravans and all that. Man, listen, that is a bunch of distractions. The wall is to keep you in. All right? What do we have? I already spoke about the brown faces getting in an uproar over black faces. I don't know why, but I spoke about that already. And we're going to talk about a little bit about religion right now. Because on every corner in our neighborhood is a church. On every corner. And those who know history, okay? And of course, history is his story. But in his story, you will find our story. And in our story, we were not Christians. We were not Muslims. We didn't practice Judaism. None of that. I could go back specifically in history and point out exactly when those religions came into the Americas. So it begs the question, why do we have so many Christian churches on every corner and all these pastors misleading our people? My brothers and sisters, I've told you this many times, and I will continue to tell you. It may seem a little bit redundant, but when we lost our language, we lost our creator. Okay? Because the language are words. And if in the beginning was the word, and the word was with the Most High, and the word is the Most High. So therefore, when you lost your language, you lost the word, therefore you lost your Most High. That's what it's called religion. That's why you were converted, because you were not that. And the longer you continue to serve this Jesus and their gods, you will continue to fall, and you will fall hard. Mark my words. Because Jesus is not our savior. As a matter of fact, Jesus said he came to kill, steal, and destroy. He came to create amity between the mother, the father, the daughter, and the child. Jesus came with the sword. That's why on their ships, when they came, they had what? They had a cross. Okay? A cross is an actual sword. That's what Jesus came with. But you are praying, okay, to the same energy that enslaved your ancestors, because that's what they used to do back in the days. Even amongst ourselves, when we fought each other, if a tribe beat another tribe, then sometimes that tribe had to adopt the god, so to speak, of the other tribe. So it's the same thing. We got defeated and they gave us their gods and their deities, and now we in churches bending on our knees praying to this fake Jesus. And then we had cultures and certain practices such as voodoo, right? But they tell you, oh, everything you do is pagan. You do sacrifices with a little blood. Oh, it's pagan. But hold up. You telling me if I'm making a sacrifice to my ancestors and I happen to, cut a chicken's neck as a sacrifice, because all that was done through a ritual, and we are using blood in the ritual, you're telling me it's pagan, right? But here you are today telling me I have to drink the blood of a man I've never seen, a man I know that's not real, and a man that the Caucasians created, and you telling me the only way for me to be saved is for me to drink his blood and eat his body? And you're telling me what my ancestors used to practice is paganism? And our people can't see that? Man, like when you use your own mind to think, logical thinking, then I see why people are afraid to step into the truth. Because this stuff could really, it's very suicidal to, there's a potential for that. Because when you were taught your entire life that your saving grace, your salvation is based on this one entity, and here comes somebody telling you, man, listen, that man wasn't real. That is a culture shock. And a lot of people could go crazy because of that. But I'm going to ask you, oh yes, the truth is a very lonely path. I'm going to ask you another question. Don't we have museums, the Smithsonian Museum and all these different museums? One thing you have to realize about these colonizers is this. They are a very boastful people. They like to promote, okay? They like trophies. That is their thing. When they have a victory or they have anything that they have to celebrate, they always have a trophy to show because they like to show how victorious they are. So this is the question. Don't they have DNA and artifacts from pharaohs? Yes, they do. Right? And the pharaohs actually went way back before this supposed Jesus. Right? You will find that they have archaeological research where they have found tools that go back 50,000 years. They have found those tools 120, 220,000 years. They found tools that people used to use across this earth. And you trying to tell me 2,000 years ago, this mysterious man named Jesus existed. What was his occupation? Jesus was a carpenter. And you trying to tell me this man was so special. This man walked on water, raised the dead, but you don't have one piece of artifact that he built? Huh? Nothing in a museum to show that he built something, but he was a carpenter? You trying to tell me they have bones of the oldest humans on earth that's way over 100 and something thousand years old, but this mysterious, so special man, you trying to tell me within the last 2,000 years they don't have one bone of his? But yet still he supposedly died, got buried in a tomb. So what he did, he put his bones back together and took his bones out of the tomb? No proof at all? So they got you believing in a mystery. And that's your savior? Something you have no proof of except that a slave master came to our land, forced our ancestors into Christianity, and told you that was your savior. How can the same entity that enslaved you be your savior? Man, can anybody make sense out of that for me? Because you know what? I don't know how to do it anymore. I don't know how to do it anymore. Show me anything that Jesus built. Anything. These people have the hair of indigenous Indian women in museums over thousands and thousands of years old. But yet still, you try to tell me indigenous women and pharaohs and all these people, they were more important than Jesus? Because you have artifacts to prove that they existed, but nothing about this Jesus? Nobody has ever seen this Jesus? And wrote about him, you can't even find their bones. So what's going on? Huh? All right, you know what? I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give y'all the benefit of the doubt. Let's just say they wanted to keep Jesus this big secret. I don't know why, if he was so special, because he's over here saving the whole world, right? So obviously he wasn't meant to be kept a secret. But the question is this. If we can't find Jesus's bones or anything that he did or proof of his existence, where is the bones of the people that said they wrote about him and that walked with him? The 12 disciples, Peter, John, James, all of them. Where are their bones at? You can't even find that either. Man, my people, I mean, come on. Come on. And I know a lot of y'all are gonna not like this video, but it's okay. I don't care if you don't like the video. Because the truth, you see, a lot of y'all are afraid of the truth. That's what it is. And then they tell you, oh, people like me that talk like me, oh, you're gonna go to hell. Guess what? Guess who created hell? Rome created hell. The Catholic Church created hell. It don't exist. It don't exist. Because you have to ask yourself, I have a son, man, and I love my son, all right? And it doesn't matter what my son does. I would never, even if I have laws or rules, okay, in the house, which I have, and my son was supposed to abide by certain rules in the house. It doesn't matter how much my son would disobey my rules in my house. Guess what? I would never put my son in a position where the ultimate punishment is eternal death in hell. I would never do that. Because you know why? I love him too much. But yet still, you believe in a God that if you don't do what this God said, right? What's going to happen? He's going to take you and put you in hell to burn forever and ever. I mean, for crying out loud, who believe those things? So therefore, you are subscribed to a God that's able to burn his children because the children don't do what he said. But yet still in the same Bible, he tells you to forgive 70 times 70 times 70. So let me ask you a question. If you're supposed to forgive 70 times 70, where's your forgiveness? Huh? How come when it comes to you, you get to go burn in hell? I mean, am I the only one who sees this? I must be blind. Well, you know what? It is what it is. Because it's just too many contradictions, too many holes you could poke in their stories. The Bible is nothing but a trust. That's all it is. It's a book on laws on how to govern man. And the lords in the Bible are actually man. The nobles, the kings, they call themselves lords. Lord Locksley, lords of England and lords of Buckingham. Those are who the lords are in that book. It's a trust. Place called heaven or hell. I know. Y'all need to come at it today like that, huh? That's why I said a lot of you, you so-called religious, you're not gonna like the truth. And when you speak the truth, what they tell you, oh man, you're going to hell, you're gonna burn. It's blasphemy. Who taught you that? The slave master? Y'all better wake up and realize the only salvation that you have is in you. That's the only salvation that you have in you. You know what? I have proof that my mother existed. I have proof that my father existed. I have proof that her mother existed. I have proof that her father existed. I have proof that my father's mother existed. I have proof that my father's father existed. And I could take it as far back into time immemorial, right back to the source. All each of my ancestors have to do is go back until the very beginning of time. And that is my connection to the Great Spirit. Not this mystical figure called Jesus that have no relations to me in my bloodline telling me you died for my sins. What sins? I ain't got no damn sins. Huh? How can an innocent baby, a baby who hasn't done anything, here's the contradiction again. You see, when you start thinking, using your own mind that the Most High gave you, you see, a lot of people think when I speak that way, I'm speaking that way because I don't believe there is a great spirit, there's a most. No, I never said that. I said Jesus is not real. That's what I said. I never said there wasn't a superior creator. I never said that. Because we are all creators. But you have the creator of the created, of those who are created. I subscribe to the same creator that the animals subscribe to, that the trees subscribe to. That's who I subscribe to, not what man told me. So I know the truth hurt. I know. But open up your minds. Do a little investigation. If you say that you are African, then do some history and find out exactly when Christianity came into Africa, because it wasn't always there. At least not among the indigenous people. It was forced on them. Okay? It was forced on them. It's either you have to be a Christian, go to jail, or die, or become a slave. Those were your choices. Those were your choices. So here's another contradiction. It says that we were all born in sin. So I'm going to ask you a logical question. What did a little baby do? A little baby that when you are born, a little baby so beautiful, so precious, so pure, haven't done anything, right? But yet still, we are told that that baby is sinful. But here's the contradiction. In another part of the book, it tells you, you have to go back to being a child, because children are the closest to the Most High. They are the most pure. So let me ask you a question. Are they the most pure, or are they sinners? But I don't think the church hear me, because we're in church right now. How do you explain that contradiction? But of course, this pastor is going to have a way to break it down to you to let it make sense, because you know what? They want to keep their business flowing. The offerings, the tithing, the money, because they have to pay Rome. They have to pay their bosses. Oh, they got bosses, believe that. They have to pay their bosses. So I'm going to ask you again, if a baby is born so pure, so harmless, so innocent, how is that that baby is born in sin? But yet still in another part of the book, it's telling you, go back to being a child. That's a contradiction. I rest my case on that one. That's something for you to think about. So you see, for you to free yourself, you got to free your mind. What is your mind? Your mind is your God. And that's why they have your God in control. It's your mind they have in control. Sheep. And believe me, these pastors know the truth, because they took an oath as well. They took an oath as well. That's why they have 501c3s. It's a business. It's a contract. It is a contract. And the contract cannot exist unless you give your consent. Okay? Unless you give your consent. Why do I need a man to explain to me or break down to me the relationship I should have with my creator, when in the book it said that the creator put the laws in the hearts of men, in the hearts of the mind and the hearts of men? We already born with it. Okay? It's already in us, in our innate nature. Nobody had to teach us not to kill other people, because we have something in us that's called our conscience. You see, that is that voice in us, that piece of the Most High that's in us, that's always going to tell us when we are doing right or when we are doing wrong. How many of you, when you do something that you and after you do it, you tell yourself, oh man, something on that. That is not Jesus. No, that is a piece of the Most High in you that's there to always guide you. But because they keep you so distracted, they got your mind all over the place. You can't take the time to peace, be still, and listen to that voice in you that's there to always guide you. Y'all better learn. So what did they do? They came, they took our names. Because we didn't have all these names, Thomas, John, David, and Greg, and, you know, Raekwon and Daquan. I mean, maybe that might be Raekwon, that might be indigenous, sound a little indigenous, but John and Johnson, we didn't have those names. They came, they took our names, and they gave us these slave names. When I say slave names, I'm not insinuating that we came here on boats from Africa. No, I'm talking about a slave to the system, a name that was created on a birth certificate, an event that was created, and they named the event, and you think that's you. It's a slave name. It's a debtor. A debtor is a slave. So y'all go ahead and dislike this video as much as you want, but the truth shall not be censored. So they took your name. What did they do? After they took our name, they took what? Our nationality. I've showed you in many videos when our ancestors were able to put American Indian on birth certificates. I gave y'all the information straight from their archives. So I'm not making it up. I'm not making it up. So they took our nationality. A people without a nationality is stateless. And what is your estate? Your estate is your body, your mind. Right? So calling yourself Black, African American, that means you're stateless. Okay? A people from the land of nowhere. That's what you want. And that's why they get to abuse you and do what they want with you, because you don't have a nationality. You don't have a nationality. Okay? Italians get to be Italians because every ethnic group is identified by their supposed language. Right? Italian is a language, so you call the people what? Italians. Right? French is a language, so you call the people what? French. Russian is a language, so you call the people what? Russians. German is a language, so you call the people what? Germans. Portuguese is a language, so you call the people what? Portuguese. But this lost Negroes here in America on the mainland, okay? English is their language, and they call themselves Black and African American. I'll be damned. Why don't you call yourself English? Because if every other ethnic group is identified by their language and you speak English, why don't you call yourself English? But you know what Chief Chief don't know what he's talking about. Chief is bugging. Where's your language? What's your nationality? Because your language is your nationality. So if your ancestors were Cherokee, because Cherokee is a language, then guess what your nationality is? Your nationality is Cherokee. If we want to get specific. Choctaw is a language. So if your ancestors were Choctaw and they spoke Choctaw, your nationality is Choctaw. Chickasaw is a language. So if your ancestors were Chickasaw, then your nationality is Chickasaw. And I'm not insinuating that we're from England. I'm just saying, you see, you missed the whole part of what I just said. I just said, and you're absolutely right, we're not from England. What I'm saying is this. Every ethnic group is identified by their language. French, they speak French. Russian, they speak Russian. So I'm asking you, if you speak English and you call English your language, why don't you call your nationality English? But so you see, it doesn't even make sense. Because yes, you are absolutely right. We are not from England. So therefore, we are not English. So that's why the majority of the people don't have a nationality, and they are lost Negroes, calling themselves a color. And because they are afraid to investigate and do research and study, they just, I want to be black. I'm going to be fanned being black. A sister put a post on Instagram, always promoting black, black, black. And well, I just had to comment. She got mad. Oh, Chief Colonizers, I'm tired of you coming on people's posts talking about we not black. Oh, I'm proud to be a black woman. I say, you know what? Good luck. I'm not going to argue with you, man. If you want to be dead, go ahead. But you see, that's the ignorance of our people. And then now we have this kind of women raising our children. We have this kind of men raising our children, and our children are suffering because of the ignorance of grown-ass people. Because they want to be a color. They want to defend everything that they are not, but will not fight for what they are. Man, am I the only one seeing there's something wrong with this? I mean, it doesn't matter how many languages people speak. They have an origin. So their point of origin is where they're from. That's their nationality. I mean, you can speak 1,000 languages. You have to be born in one place. So that's a question you could have answered yourself. The point I'm trying to make is our people are suffering for a lack of identity. And because their mind is so prone to entertainment that that's all they find comfort in. Because you see, it causes stress on the mind when they have to think anything outside of the box. It puts stress on the mind. It creates a discomfort. And all people just love being comfortable. All right, I go to work, I get paid, I watch TV, I get on social media, I eat junk food, and that's it. No worries in the world until the corporations say, you know what, enough is enough. All of a sudden, everybody's stressing out. Well, I'm here to tell you today, you have a chance to start getting your affairs in order. Nobody's forcing you to do it. You're the one that's doing it to yourself. Nobody's forcing you, okay? That's just a fact. So where is the responsibility? Well, maybe you might be a Hebrew Israelite. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. I'm not that. So you could only speak for yourself. Okay? Because my ancestors didn't call themselves Hebrew Israelite. You see, Hebrew is a language, and Hebrew is a people, and every dark-skinned person on the planet is not a Hebrew. So you see, we have to get away from this religious dogmas, man. This indoctrination. All right? Israel was something that was created by the Caucasian man or not even the Caucasian man. Another group of people created the term Israelites. You feel me? There was no God that came down and said, Jacob, I'm going to change your name to Israel, man. That is a fairy tale, man. Y'all got to give up the fairy tales, family. Give it up. Prove to me that you are Hebrew Israelite. Prove it to me. You see, that's what you were taught. It's the same way Christians cannot prove to me that Jesus existed. Hebrew wasn't our language, original language here in the Americas. It was brought here from different cultures. Okay? The Creator didn't come to Jacob and say, man, I'm going to change your name from Jacob to Israel. That's a fairy tale. That never happened. Where is the proof of that? And they say that the Bible, the original language of the Bible is Hebrew. Okay, you know what? Granted that. I'm not going to dispute that. So let me ask you a question. By saying that, what are you insinuating? You are insinuating that Hebrew is the first language on earth. And that's not true, because many cultures have all these different languages. We never spoke Hebrew. I mean, we end up speaking some of it, yes, but that's because it was brought here. It was brought here. So I am not a Hebrew Israelite. I will never claim that. Okay? Family, I don't know about you. I'm just saying that whole Hebrew Israelite thing is made up. Okay? I'm not telling you that there weren't people who called themselves Hebrew Israelites. All I'm just telling you, it is not indigenous to the Americas. It is not our culture. That was another religion, okay? Another ideology that was brought here on our land. I am not an Israelite. Maybe you are, but I'm not an Israelite because that too was made up. Where did that word Israelite came from? We never spoke English, family. We never spoke English. So where did that word came from? You feel me? So all I'm just saying is we had many different languages. Even in South America, we had many different languages. So you're trying to tell me every group in South America considered themselves Israelites? Come on, I mean, again, we have to think outside the box. What am I? I'm a man. That's who I am. You see, y'all get stuck too much on labels. What's my nationality? If I were to call myself anything, a lot of my ancestors call themselves Carib, Arawak, Cherokee, all those different things. But again, those are still labels. But I was born in a small island called Dominica. Before it was given the name Dominica, it was called Weti Kubuli. So if I were to be anything, I would be a Weti Kubulian. That's what I would actually call my nationality. You see, I have one. I'm not one of these lost Negroes. I know I am indigenous to the Americas. You feel me? So when you come with all the extra Israelites and Hebrew, this and that, man, listen, all that stuff is made up, man. All right? But I'm a man. I'll take away all the labels. One thing I am certain of is that the Most High created man and woman, okay? And that's guaranteed. I know that for a fact. And I'm taking away all the labels. You see? Take away all the labels. That's what I'm focused on. Because once you start getting into labels, man, you put yourself in a box. That's what you're doing. You're putting yourself in a box. But when you are a man or a woman, when you identify as who you are, who the Creator made, if we were to use your Bible, it says right there in Genesis, in the very first chapter, the Creator made man and woman in their likeness and image. That's it. Okay? That's it. I'm a man. It's that simple. That put an end to every other debate. It puts an end to it because I'm not putting myself in a box. That's what they want you to do. They want you to put yourself in a box. Where do I get my information from about my history? Man, listen, it's just so many different sources, but you have to go do your own research. And plus, that stuff is in my DNA. My ancestors show me things in vision. You see, once again, I know who I am. It's not a question of I believe, I know. Okay? I know who I am. And even if I didn't know particularly those specifics, guess what I know? I know I am a man. Okay? So that's, to me, that is the beginning and the end of it all. I'm a man. It's that simple. I don't need history to prove that to me. Because you see, his story is contaminated with too many lies. How can anybody dispute that I'm a man? I'm not a man. How can anybody dispute that the Most High didn't make me as a man? You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. That's my concrete proof. That's where I get my history from me. Because I could say all my life I've been a man. My father was a man. His father was a man. His father was a man. Go back to the inception of time when the Creator made my original bloodline, the first man and woman in their image. That is my history. And I got it from my DNA in my blood. End of story. You see, I don't need to go to a textbook to prove that I'm a man. But when you get caught up with all these people's, you see what I'm saying? Concepts of what they think you are, man, you start putting yourself in a box. And that's where you run into problems. All right? So I'm going to leave that alone. I'm not going to touch that no more. I'm going to, again, I can't tell you who you are. If you think you're a Hebrew Israelite, man, listen, more power to you. I'm not saying that you are not. I'm not telling you, but when you say we, speak for yourself, because I'm not. I'm not a Hebrew. I'm not a Moor. Same thing with Moors. Oh, we are Moors. No, we are not. I'm not that. You feel me? I have a right to self-identify. That is my right. And for anybody to tell me what I'm not or who I am, okay, that's called forced assimilation. Don't force that on me. I do not consent. Okay? Nobody had to tell me that I was a man. I know I'm a man. That's the proof. You feel me? So moving on. So what they did was they took our name, they took our nationality, and they took our religion. We already spoke about religion, so no need to get, go beat that dead horse. Religion is a dead thing to me. All right? The tribes. When these people, the colonizers came here, and when I say colonizers, a lot of people think when I speak of colonizers, I'm talking about a certain complexion. No. Man, you'll be surprised who the first colonizers was. All right? You will be surprised. They have the same complexion as you and me. All right? We had tribes. We had tribes. Okay? Because we are a tribal people. It doesn't mean that of course we had our own little beefs. That's true. We had our own little beefs, but we had tribes. And they took all that away and they created one group of people, all right, and just called everybody black and called everybody African American. Oh yeah, I'm not even going to focus on the back and forth with Hebrew Israelites on here. This is not what this is about. If you're a Hebrew man, listen, like I said, more power to you. I'm not going to get into that debate. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give that my energy anymore. Because like I said, I don't have to go anywhere in history to prove that I'm a man. And I have a spirit. Okay? And I have a personal relationship with the Creator. You feel me? And that's it. Okay? So, brothers and sisters, let us not get caught up in the distraction. Okay? As you can see, there's a distraction right there on the feed. So I'm just going to ignore that. You feel me? Because a lot of people don't realize that's what they came here to do. They came here to be destructive. They came here to be distractions. And it's because of all the separations, that's why we are so divided. Okay? Allow a man to be who they are. Allow a woman to be who they are when it comes to who they say they are. You feel me? And I'm talking about in terms of identity. Okay? Nationality. That's what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, we have what? We have a common enemy. Who is the common enemy is what? The system that's oppressing the people. That is the common enemy. We all have that in common, right? Don't we all? It doesn't matter what you call yourself. Whether you call yourself a Hebrew Israelite, whether you call yourself a Moor, whether you call yourself black, whether you call yourself Aborigine, guess what? We all have that same problem. And a lot of you are actually in denial. And you can't see that. And that's why I showed you in the mirror that you are your biggest enemy. Because you are agents for the system and you don't even know that. You don't even know that. Because a lot of y'all that's out here preaching what you are and preaching religion, you don't do what your religion says. You do everything contrary to what your Bible says. First off, you don't love your neighbors as yourselves. Okay? You don't give more than you receive. A lot of y'all don't do that. So I'm just saying, man, truth be told, a lot of people just talk things because it sounds good, but they don't live the life. They don't live the life. Okay? In their Bible, the original diet, I'm going to use that word very lightly, diet was what? An all plant-based diet. But y'all out here eating all this meat. You feel me? So all I'm just saying, man, you know what? If you're going to be real about something, be real about who you are. And stop forcing what you are on other people. All right? But anyway, I just wanted to come and, shed a little light, build with the family a little bit. You know, because man, honestly, 2019, it could be one or two things. It could be the best year for you, and it could be the worst year for you. And I'm talking about in terms of the lessons that you're going to learn. So all I'm just saying is the system is designed to work against the Aborigines of this land. And I personally think that regardless of what you call yourself, if you know that you're an Aborigine, then I think we have something in common. Okay? I think so. What do we have in common? The system that's here oppressing us. The system that's here violating our creator-given rights. The system that's taking our children and putting them in jail. The system that's teaching our men to disrespect our women. All right? That's what we have in common. The system that's miseducating our children. The system that's setting up these codes so that you can't live your life. The system that's constantly putting you in a survival mode. The system that's taking away all the jobs from our men so that our men can't step up and take care of their families. That's what we have in common. Here's another thing we have in common. And like I told y'all before, I told y'all what? This about a year and a half ago. Didn't I tell you guys that eventually what they're going to do is they're going to get a so-called black woman to run for president? Didn't I tell you that? Oh, it's happening, right? I told y'all that. At first, I thought it was actually Oprah. But then they have this Harris woman. Okay? Because what they do is this. They play on the emotions of our women. Oh, first black female president. Woo! They're going to pull you right back into slavery because guess what they're going to do? You see, they realize that if the so-called black man, and I'm saying so-called, if the so-called black man have no power, he cannot control anything. If the so-called black man, we could take him and turn him into a little girl, got them wearing panties and high heels and skinny jeans and tight pants. You know what I'm saying? If we could get them to do that, then we could feminize them. They will not stand up and defend their women. So what they're going to do is this. They are going to get a so-called black woman, all right, especially one that's not married to one of her own. And what they're going to do, they're going to put all of our indigenous Aboriginal women in power. You know why? Because our indigenous Aboriginal women were taught that their biggest enemy is their own men. But if y'all don't want to see what's going on, like I said, those who have eyes, let them see, and those who have ears, let them hear. Y'all gonna learn the hard way. I don't care what you call yourself. Okay? But that's what's going to happen. They're gonna put in power all these disgruntled so-called black women, feminist women, those that hate their people, those that hate their men. And they're gonna put them in power. Y'all think y'all so-called black men going to jail at an alarming rate right now? Wait till they put these so-called black women in power. Because they were taught that you are their biggest enemy. And they believe that because you know why? They took away all the opportunities that we could have, the jobs, so that we could take care of our family. Right? So now the system that's providing for our women, all the faces are so-called what? White, Caucasians. And I'm saying so-called because they're not white. All right? This is white. I have never seen anybody look like this in my life. Okay? See this? Right here. I've never seen that. So they're not white. They're pale skin. All right? But now our women get to see who could take care of the family. Oh, well, this nigga can't do it. This black man can't do it. But then they go to the job. A pale man could give them a job. A pale man could give them a raise. A pill man could give them a position. Y'all don't realize what's happening to y'all because y'all want to stay divided. But that's what's going to happen. And then they know that, you see, these people are not stupid. They know that things are changing. And then the energy, okay, of the matriarch, it's time for it to step up because Mother Nature needs that balance. So what they're going to do, they're going to put all this disgruntled so-called black women in power. And guess who's going to be the biggest enemy? You, the man. Y'all going to see it manifest. All right? But here's the thing. All is not lost. I will tell you why. Because our ancestors already have things worked out in place. And you see a lot of those women, they're going to fall hard. Anytime they go against the grain, they're going to fall hard. You know why? Because it is time to restore balance back on our land. And our ancestors are not going to allow this disgruntled so-called black women that hate the men, okay, that hate their own people. They're not going to let them be in power for long. They're going to shut them down the hard way because this system time is up. So I'm here to tell you, do not be afraid. Okay? Well, a lot of people don't have a say about it. The only time you're going to have a say about it is when you get your affairs together and you are able to defend yourself. But at the ending of the day, I'm telling you what's going to happen. Because you see, they know that their system is coming to an end. The Babylonian system is coming to an end. It's time for the matriarch to rise. But what they're doing is, once again, they're going to put these women in the forefront. And guess who's going to be pushing their buttons? The same system, the same oppressive system. And let me tell you something. The most dangerous Negro is a house Negro. That is the most dangerous Negro you could ever run into. The one who don't want to see master fall. The one who don't want to see master fail. That is the most dangerous Negro. And a lot of them are actually in your family right now. They love keeping the system alive. So, I'm just here to bring the facts. Man, like it or not, I don't care. I don't do videos for like. I'm just here to tell the truth. That's it. Nothing but the truth. Brother, you know, royal Hebrew DNA, I have no qualms with you, brother. No qualms at all. All right? Like I said, if you are who you are, I respect that. Just respect me for who I am. I'm a man without the labels. And I'm not smart. To be smart means you're in pain. Go look at the etymology. I am intelligent. I have wisdom. So I'm not smart. You see, that's a spell you just cast. And I'm not going to accept that spell. No disrespect. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we always think we know it all. But let me tell you something. I listen to my heart because you know why? The Creator, the Great Spirit is in me. And I know truth. I have seen truth. They come to me in visions and my ancestors tell me. They talk to me. Chief, you got to speak to the people. You got to teach your people. Let them know the truth. The truth is not popular. We know that. Hey, Chief, you know what? They may not support you the way they support the others that tell them lies, but it's okay. Keep telling them the truth. Because you see, your reward may not be manifested in the flesh. But we got you. Because when you come home, we got you. Your place will be prepared amongst the great ones who came before you. You feel me? So I'm not doing this for any physical gratification, to please people, tell people things that they want to hear to make them feel good. No, I'm here to make you feel uncomfortable with the truth, whether you like it or not. No, I'm not going to force it down your throat, but I am going to tell you the truth. And you do what you do with it. because you got free will. Like I said before, I'm not here to infringe on anybody's free will. You see, I know I'm a deity. I know that. If you don't know who you are, that's on you. Because I always tell people, if a dog has a dog, it's called a dog. Okay? If a goat has a goat, it's called a goat. If an elephant has an elephant, it's called an elephant. Right? So if the I has children, then therefore I am that I am. So nobody could take that away from me, regardless of what anybody say or do. Man. And you see, when you are a man or a woman that stands on truth, and that's the conviction that you have in your heart, you have already won the battle. You are already victorious. I'm not at the bottom, brother. I'm not at the bottom. I'm actually on the top because I know who I am. You feel me? I'm not at the bottom. You see, I don't play with bottom feeders, man. Victory is already mine. I've already won. So you see, I tell people, speak for yourself. I don't put myself in the category of the defeated. I don't put myself in the category of the dead. I am a living man with the breath of life of the Great Spirit that's in me. My light is always shining. Ain't nothing dark about me. So you know what I'm saying? I know, well, you say, hey, you tell me what you mean, that's fine. But you see, I'm not going to assume and presume because we are always casting spells, family. And a lot of times the spells that we cast, we don't realize that it's affecting the people around us because they look at it and they say, oh, yes, that's me. Well, I'm here to tell you that's not me. I am actually the elite. Okay? I am actually the illuminated one. I am the light, not them. Because you cannot be causing distraction and destruction and call yourself and chaos and say that you are the light or you're the illuminated one. No, you are not. I am the light, not you. Because when you are the light, you love. When you are the light, you build. When you are the light, you protect. So I will never give people power over me. I don't care who it is. None whatsoever. And I'm here to tell you, for me, I could only speak for myself. I am willing to face a physical death when the time is right for standing on the truth. I will not fold. No, I will not do that. Now, I may bend because the universe bends, but the universe never breaks. I will never be broken. Because you see, I'm speaking my words that I want manifested. All right? You make your own reality. Nobody make it for you. Every day you get up, you have two choices. Only two. That's it. It's either you're going to get up to love or you're going to get up to hate. There's no other choice. And from those two choices, everything else stems from those two choices. When you love, you know everything that's going to come from love is good. When you hate, you know everything that's going to come from hate, including fear. But you only have two emotions. That's it, love and hate. Love and hate. And everything else, they are characteristics, okay, that stem from love or hate. You feel me? So we have to realize that when you get out of bed, you put your foot on the ground. Okay, you start thinking of your day. Am I going to love today? Am I going to hate today? Because you see, when you hate, what happens? Envy, jealousy, gossip, chaos, destructions, lie. But when you make up your mind to love, man, ain't nobody could take that away from you. No matter what, your light is going to shine. You feel me? You feel me? All right? So this is not about, again, injecting fear or promoting fear. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just letting you be aware of the distractions that are around us. And I implore you, okay, to stay focused. Stay focused. All right? Focus on the goal. Focus on the prize. We all have a responsibility, okay? That was handed to us. Many of us came here on contracts, man. In fact, the most, pretty much, I believe, it's a belief now, that we all came here on contracts. You feel me? And we have obligations to fulfill them. But first, you have to find your purpose. Find your purpose. And once you have found your purpose, things will start changing in your life. You feel me? All right. Somebody say, have your heart light than a feather, my yacht. Well, absolutely. I mean, that's what it's about. Being able to have a heart that's so light, because all that comes from your intentions. All right. The balance and the weighing of your heart comes from your intentions, and nobody is responsible for that but you, because only you know your true intentions. Now, you could send your representation and fool people, but you can't fool yourself, and you cannot fool the Great Spirit, and you cannot fool the universe. So for me, I tell people the easiest way to become wholesome, to walk the righteous path, is to truly know who you are and make sure that your intentions are always pure. That is the best and the quickest way to get your heart as light as a feather. Yes, absolutely. I mean, once your heart is heavy, from whatever it is, then you are burdened. You will experience chaos. Always. So once again, the goal and the key is to have your heart as light as a feather. Well, once again, man, I'm not here to debate, I'm saying, with, this back and forth. There is knowledge in every culture. All right. And what I look at the lessons being learned. You feel me? If I could apply something to my life to make me a better man, I don't care where it came from. All right. I don't care where it came from, because you see, a lot of y'all miss the message and focus on the messenger. That is the problem. You feel me? I have no pain. I have no needs, because my ancestors have already taken care of that. You see, I'm on a whole different level with that. You feel me? I'm on a whole different level with that. So a lot of y'all are actually in a place that you don't think you should be. You're not in the place where you need to be. So you tend to be critical of others that who are in a place of bliss. I can only speak for myself. I have bliss in my life. Okay? I am more than happy. I am honored. I'm favored by the Great Spirit and my ancestors. So what more can I want? What more can I need? I'm just living the experience, family. That's all it is. I'm just living the experience and learning every single day as I go along. Don't matter what it is. I choose to ask my ancestors, show me the lesson I needed to learn. Because that's what it's all about. It's about lessons, because that's what we're going to take with us when we cross over. It is the lesson that we learned. Not the fake money, not the cars, not the rims. I don't have to go through that again. But it's the lessons that we learned. So don't matter what experience I go through, whether it may be deemed, an obstacle, or it may be deemed a gift, or it may be deemed a curse, I look for the lesson. What was I supposed to learn? Not to categorize the experience. I don't do that. I look for the lesson. And that's just how I live my life. I could only speak for me, and it works for me. I don't know what works for you. I'm telling you what works for me. All right? You feel me? Because we have to take the time to get to know ourselves. At what point do we turn the televisions off? At what point do we turn the world off? Even in the allegorical Bible, you see, and I tell people I use those things because anything that I could use to make me a better man, I don't care if it came from the Chinese, I don't care if it came from the Japanese, I don't care if it came from the Egyptians, I don't care if it came from Moors, so-called Israelites, I don't care what people call themselves. If there is something that I could use to make me a better man, okay, so that I could uplift my fellow man and woman, I'm going to do it. That is just me. You feel me? That is just me, because I'm not focused on the messenger. I'm focused on the message. And even in the allegorical Bible, the allegorical Jesus, when he was being tempted, all right? And I say allegorical because Jesus wasn't real. It wasn't meant to be taken literally. So that's why I say I don't focus on the messenger. Jesus is the messenger. I'm not focused on him because he wasn't real. But I'm focused on the message the allegorical man taught. All right? You have to be able to find some peace. When the temptation comes, right? It's all in your mind. Because when the allegorical Jesus was being tempted, brought on the mount, oh, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you that. If you just do this. What did the allegorical Jesus say? Get thou behind me, Satan. It wasn't no real snake. It wasn't no real serpent. That was his mind talking to him. Okay? Even when they were on that boat and the sea started to roar and the disciples got afraid and scared, what did the allegorical Jesus say? Peace, be still. Because you see, many of us don't find that moment of stillness. That's why we're not able to ascend. That's why we are not able to ascend. And we're dealing with two different energies. Okay? Whether you call the energy Jesus, Yeshua, again, it's all allegory. But those two energies are one that deals with just the physical manifestation of man. Okay? The animalistic ways or characteristics of man. And then you have the other energy, which is the higher, the ascension of the mind, which is called the Christos or the Christ consciousness. They are not the same, but they are the same. Okay, in one body, but two different energies. So Jesus wasn't the Christ. Jesus became the Christ. All right? So we all have to walk that path. We all have to carry our own cross. We all have to carry our own burden. We all have our own Peter. We all have our own Moses. We all have our own James. All those things are allegories. The 12 disciples are nothing more, if you're not looking at it from an astrological perspective, it's nothing more but the 12 faculties that's in your mind. So when you're carrying your cross, you have a faculty in your mind that's called Peter, and Peter is going to help you carry that cross. But at some point, Peter is going to say, nah, hey, take that cross back because you have to carry your own cross and then be crucified and let off that last breath. What does that mean? Let go of the things of this physical world so you could step into your ascend. Let that dove come down on you. Let your light shine. That's what the allegory means. But of course, the pastors wouldn't teach you that. They want you to go down and serve something that's not real. When the truth of the matter is, it is called self-service. You're actually serving yourself. It is you that have to grow. You that have to build. Nobody could do it for you. Nobody could carry your cross for you, but you. So we have to go through those obstacles. We have to go through those temptations. How do you become strong? You become strong because you don't allow your circumstances to define who you are. You beat them. Okay? There's no need to be afraid, brothers and sisters. Victory is already ours. No need to be afraid. Okay? There's no hell waiting for you. Step out of all the religion, man. Give it back to them. Step into who you truly are. Step into your greatness. All right? Well, when I was on the land, I did a lot of that. But now, you know, I'm in a different location. So I don't get to do it as much because it's cold. But definitely, that's something that I like doing. I love being out in nature. I love having my feet planted on the ground. All right? Because like I said, you know, the sole of your feet, right? I like my soul to be connected to Mama, Mother Earth. So I've done that a lot. But believe me, as soon as the weather changed, I will be doing a lot more of that. You know what I mean? So, guys, I have some work to do. I got to get on a conference call, but I just wanted to come and build with you guys for a minute. And once again, I tell people, I'm not here to attack anyone. I'm just here to bring you the truth based on perspective. One, that's number one. Number two, on extensive research. All right. And the truth is out there. And it doesn't matter where you look for the truth, where you find it. As long as you find the truth, live in the truth. All right. Because the truth will resonate with your heart. It's going to resonate with your soul, your spirit, your mind, everything in you. But the only way to seek is to ask questions. Knock on those doors. All right? Knock on those doors. And once you seek in truth, then you will get the answer. I promise you that. Because it has worked for me. It has worked for me. And it is working for me. It continues to work for me. And I know it will always work for me. All right? Because nobody could represent you like you represent yourself. All right? So get to know who you are. And the laws are really simple of the universe, man. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You see, we have forgotten this basic fundamental law of the universe. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Another thing before I conclude, stop chasing materialistic things. All right? We are living in a time where the spirit, the needs of the spirit should come first. All right? The needs of the spirit should come first. That's the time that we are living in. That's how you grow. And then once you cater to the spirit, the flesh will follow, because the spirit deals with the mind. And there's a saying, there's an old adage, wherever the mind goes, the body follows. So your mind got to be strong. You got to be strong enough to know, you know what, I'm not going to succumb to those distractions. You feel me? I'm going to stand on the truth. I'm going to stay focused. And once you have strengthened your mind, I promise you, your body will feel stronger. Everything in you will change when you only change your mind. Okay? That's it. It's that simple. Too many of you are looking for change when you don't want to give up a dollar. And what I mean by that is that's an allegory. All right? I'm just saying that's an allegory. Hear what I'm saying, okay? Hear what I'm saying. Too many people are looking for change without wanting to give up a dollar. If you go to a store and you're not going to tell the store owner, hey, can I get 4 quarters? They're going to look at you and be like, well, where's the dollar? What I mean by that is, if you want change, you got to give up something. It is that simple. So don't take that allegory literally. It is not doubt. I'm not talking about dollars. I'm just saying, okay, it's an analogy. If you want change, you have to give up something. If you want change, you have to give up the old ways, the old way of thinking, the old ideologies. Find your purpose. Find the real you. Okay? How many of you are willing to sacrifice who you are right now for what you want to become? You see, that makes a lot of people uncomfortable because they don't want to change. They don't want growth. They want to be stagnant, not realizing that life is either you're going up or you're going down, because nothing in life, that has energy, is never stagnant. So don't fool yourself and say, oh, well, I'm comfortable, I'm going to just chill. No, it's either you're progressing or you're digressing. And the only way to progress is to make change. The only way to digress is to make change. You got to change something, but it's up to you to decide what direction you want to go in. We are already victorious. Our victory is waiting on us. Okay, it's already pre-written. Our script is already written. If you get up today and you choose to go left, or if you choose to go right, or you choose to go straight, that's what it was meant to be. You see, we cannot mess up. All you have to do is learn the lesson. You could never mess up because it was always meant to be. The path has already been set. Victory is already ours. The Babylonian system will fall. It's fallen. But you have to position yourself. Okay? It's like the stock market, right? It's like a big investment. If you hear, well, man, this next thing is going to be the big investment, right? And you don't position yourself for when it finally go public, what happens? Another typical example, look at Facebook. When Facebook was coming out, only a few people invested. When Microsoft was coming out, only Bill Gates' company, only a few people invested, right? Because they didn't position themselves. But what happened? When it went public, instantly people became millionaires. Now, I'm not saying that to equate everything that we're supposed to do in terms of money. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there is a shift coming. There's a shift taking place. It's happening right now. That's why we're having all these full moons, these blood moons, these beaver moons. Okay? That's why the real sun is breaking the mold. Okay? Of them blocking the sun. The mold is being broken. The veil is about to be relieved. Right? But you have to position yourself. If you don't position yourself, you will not receive the gift. And if you don't receive the gift, what's going to happen? It's like when you're in 4th grade. If you don't pass your test, what's going to happen? You're going to repeat. And that's called reincarnation. Whether you believe it or not, it's the facts. All right? And many of you are going to reincarnate because you don't and you refuse to learn. You refuse to give up the distractions. You are still caught up on the facade, the celebrity lifestyle, the people who are paid to distract you, to teach you things, just to be the materialistic things, to sell your soul, sell your body, sell your children, sell your loved ones for 30 pieces of silver. Believe me, there's a price to pay for that. And it doesn't matter what you do. Guess who's always looking at you? Like I said before, right? You're always looking at yourself in the mirror. So don't think when you fool your brother or you fool your sister, you're going to get away with it. No. Cause and effect. The universe is going to take care of you. All right? So with that being said, be good to each other. Stop being afraid. All right? There is this whole story of what's his name? William Niston, whatever. You know, the dude that acted in those movies, Taken and all that. Just because a so-called black man, something happened with a so-called white woman, what he said? Oh, I was looking to kill that black bastard. All right? Every other ethnic, they are women. Okay? Except the majority of our men. Okay? Without our women, we couldn't have life. You feel me? Of course, without the men as well, because it takes two. But what I'm saying is the portal that brought us here, we are supposed to protect that. Our women shouldn't have a want or a need because we are supposed to provide and protect them. Every other ethnic group, in my own understanding, is protecting theirs. But because our men, you see the mind, they took away the mind of the original gods. You feel me? So they don't stand and defend their own because they are weak. They live in fear. And the only time the fear subsides is only when they attack their own, because that's what they were taught. Be brave, be a gangster. All right? Be a thug when it comes to your own. Like I told y'all before, a nigga always want to kill a nigga, but a nigga never want to kill the nigga in him. That's the problem. So where are the real men at? Where are the real women at? That you're not going to sell out your brothers. Where are the real men at? We are going to protect our women by any means necessary, because guess what? Every other ethnic group does it. But when we do it, all of a sudden they are terrorists. Okay, this movement is a threat to national society, national security. But then everybody else could protect their own, right? Don't you realize that something's wrong? So at what point are you going to learn a lesson? Are you going to wait until they wipe us all out? Or are we going to stand up and say enough is enough? And that's the problem. Because enough is not enough, you are going to continue to suffer, because you still want to put up with all the distractions. You are the ones that support your demise. They are giving you the vices to destroy yourself. All the reality shows, all the music that's demonizing our women, telling our men go kill each other, putting all this hormonal drugs in our foods and turning our men into little women, hardening our women and turning them into butchers. And you got more women today have more women than men have women. But it's a way of life. Now they're teaching our children in schools how to be lesbian and gays. Am I the only one seeing that there's a problem with that? That is not our culture, family. I'm not telling you it's wrong, but it's their culture. It's not ours. It's wrong for us. That's their culture. It came from them. And people always want to make an excuse for these things. Nah, there's no excuse, man. You see, you're getting, well, you know what? I'll do another video on that, because I don't want to get carried away into that, because that's a whole nother subject by itself. But again, the colonizers have all these devices so that we could destroy ourselves. And we're falling right into the trap of the beast. So I'm just saying, elevate yourself, man. All right? Elevate yourself. Elevate your mind. You feel me? That's it. Protect each other. Be truthful to each other. That's what it takes. Be loyal to each other. And I promise you, we will see some changes. This beast system, it's inevitable. It's going to fall. The question is, when it falls, where will you be at? What position will you be in? Because if you're in chaos now, you will continue to be in chaos, because you'll always be destructive if that's your nature. But Mother Nature is going to take care of those who came to kill, steal, and destroy. All right? So with that being said, enjoy the rest of enjoy the rest of your evening, and have a great continuation. And like I said, I just wanted to come and hang out with you guys for a couple of hours. You know what I mean? And just talk and vibe. All right? I love this. And we will talk soon. I am going to do a video on this whole LGBT and gay and lesbian. I'm going to break that down. All right? I'm going to put some perspective on that. I'm going to show it to you from a different spin. All right? And once again, I'm not doing this for likes. All right? I'm just doing this because I love the people. Okay? So you guys have a great evening, and we will talk soon. All right? My brother posted a link for my book, you know, in the chat. Also, the email is in the link below. So you guys could, man, listen, show some support. We have to start looking out for each other. All right? Too many times, you know, we wait until one ethnic group, you know, disrespect us, and then all of a sudden we want to boycott them. Then that boycott lasts for what, 2 months, 3 months, and we go back, we revert to the same old ways, giving them our hard-earned gold. Your energy is your gold, because money is not real. The fiat currency is not real. So the real energy is you. You feel me? So when you give that to them and they still disrespect you, you are paying for your own disrespect. We don't need to buy all these expensive clothes and this Gucci and this Prada. Why? Because that's what they are paying your celebrities, not my celebrities. That's what they're paying your celebrities to teach you. They don't mean anything to me because they have already sold my ancestors out. So I have no respect for them. You feel me? But that's what they're teaching you. You don't have to wear all these expensive things. You don't have to, because your clothes shouldn't make you look good. You should make your clothes look good. So we have to get away from this materialistic mindset that everything we have to do. See, that's what's causing the problem. And now we want to do anything to keep up with the Joneses, even selling our own out, killing our own. And it doesn't matter how they disrespect us, we are still supporting them. Man, listen, what happens to us is our fault. It's our fault. Nobody could tell us, well, nobody could tell me otherwise. I could only speak for myself. Okay? We are responsible for our own demise. We are. Because we are the ones that wake up every single day and do the things that put us in the position that we are in today. Think about that for a second. It's like every day you go touch your stove and your hand get burnt, and you continue to get up every single day and put your hand on that stove until you lose your damn hands. At what point are you going to say, you know what, man? I'm not going to put my hand on that stove today. I don't want to get burned. Because I love myself. You see, people talk about love. You cannot love anybody if you don't love yourself, family. Because love begins at home. We keep talking about you love your brother, you love your sister, but you don't love yourself, because if you love yourself, you will not hurt your brother. You will not hurt your sister. That's what love is. Because when you see them, you're supposed to see you in them. But if you get up with a malice heart and, how would I put it again? Destructive, animosity, hatred. How could you say you love? Huh? And even in the allegorical book, it says, how can you love a God that you haven't seen? How could you say that you love a God that you haven't seen? All right, no. How could you say that you love a God you haven't seen? That's right. But yet still you hate your brother or your sister. That means you're a hypocrite, man. How many of you could eat 4 or 5 meals a day, and you know a brother or a sister who cannot eat one? How many of you would rather take $400 or $500 to go buy a phone, but yet still you know there's a sister or a brother who cannot feed their children, and you wouldn't even say, you know what, man, sis, I don't need that phone. I'm going to buy you some groceries so you could feed those children. It doesn't always have to be about money. How many of you could call a sister or a brother and say, you know what, man, I know you have the children and they may be driving you crazy. I'm going to babysit for you this weekend. Take a break. How many, you see, it doesn't always have to be about money, because we have lost community. The true definition of socializing, we have lost that. They gave it to us on the internet. And everybody on the internet before, oh, that's my friend. I got 5,000 friends. They're not your friends. They're not your friends. Because when you need them, you won't find them. We have to change our mindset. We have to have a paradigm shift in the way we think and how we deal and treat each other. We are the only ones who do that. Every other ethnic group, they don't do that. I don't care if they don't like each other. They always make sure that they look out for each other first. So all I'm just saying, whose fault it is that we are in the situation we're in? Granted that the system is against us, granted, right? But we are the ones that's really encouraging it, because it's our system that was flipped on us. And we're there, bearing the burden, bearing the weight, trying to push. And we're doing all this pushing, but we're not getting big. We're not getting no muscles because we don't know how to work it out. So tell me whose fault it is. At what point are you going to take responsibility for your own life? Take your children away from these televisions. Take your children from these phones. Huh? Men, step up. Be fathers. Women, step up and be mothers. Stop being babysitters. And if a man want to take care of his child, regardless of how the relationship went, let the man be a father. Okay? Keep these quartz away from your situation. Because you might get an extra $50 this week or extra $200, $300, $400 a month. You want to see that man suffer, not realizing your children are the ones paying the price. I ain't got no respect for people like that. All right? And I'm always asking the universe to deal with them, for real. Because a lot of people, and what I'm about to say, you might take this personal, I don't give a damn. A lot of people need to be perished. They have to be, because you know what? I get it. I see things from a deity perspective. And when nature is tired of parasites, when nature is tired of the things that put her in a predicament where she cannot be wholesome, what nature does? Nature destroys it. So I am asking Mother Nature to let some of these people perish because they are parasites. They are preventing us from moving forward. Not everybody needs to be saved. That's a fact. Not everybody was meant to be saved, at least not this time around. They came here for a complete different purpose. Some people came here, manifested here to be destructive, to cause chaos, to bring hate, to bring pain. And some of them do it in the disguise of love. So be careful who tell you they love you. Not everybody who say I love you, love you. That's a fact. So you have to raise your vibrations, raise your energy, raise your frequency so you are able to see the real. Because the physical body is very, very deceptive. Okay? Oh man, believe that. But you see, the spirit never lies. And when you are able to look a man or a woman in the eye and see their soul and read their energy, let me tell you something. You go in places. You are right on time. You are on the right train. So I'm just saying. All right. So guys, man. Well, you see, the thing is, the thing of the matter is, who's the devil? Like I told y'all before, the devil is looking right at you in the mirror. Okay. Also, so is God. That the both energies are actually in you, the yin and the yang. Is the one you feed the most that manifests. And you're absolutely right. The devil in you is charming. So don't get deceived by that energy. The devil, Satan, is nothing. That's all it is. But the church has got people who believe in it's a man in hell with a pitchfork that got a pact with this God. Well, if this one does bad, I'm going to take him, put him in hell. If this one does good, well, put him in heaven. Okay, let's have a competition. Let's see who could bring more to hell and more to heaven. That's a fairy tale that the church has created. That both energies exist in you. And you manifest the one that you want to govern your life. If you want the devil to govern your life, inside of you, all right, and manifest the characteristics of Satan. If you want the great spirit, what people call God, to manifest in you, then look inside of you and seek for the characteristics of the great spirit. All right, and then you will become the deity that you were meant to be. It's nothing outside of you. It's all within. It's all within. The church is not in a brick building. The building is just the venue. The church is in the heart. That's the truth. So now everything in you was taken out of you and put outside of you, and you're outside of you looking for a savior. When the truth of the matter is, you have been looking at the savior every single day you wake up. You brush your hair, you brush your teeth. Why don't you get up one day and say, Grand Rising Savior, save me? Because it's you, nobody else. Too many of you don't want to look yourself in the mirror and talk to yourself, because you know why? You'll be ashamed of what you see. You will be ashamed of what's looking back at you. That's when you know you're not real. That's when you know you're not on the right frequency. Don't ask me how. I just told you. That's how you know. So talk to yourself in the mirror. Let the people in the home say you're crazy. Yes, I'm crazy. I'm talking to me. Talk to the higher self in you. Show me who I am, how to be like you. I guarantee you, and I promise you, they say a promise is a comfort to a fool. So I'm not going to call you a fool, but I'm still going to promise you because it has worked for me. All right? I have looked in the mirror and talked to myself. I have seen different visions of myself and asked myself to teach me how to be the best me that I can be. Because we all have that I am in us. The higher I am is in us. The body is nothing but a shell. And I've proven it to you guys on many, 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 many occasions. And I'm going to prove it to you real quick before I go. Right? Look at this phone. This phone has a color, right? I'm going to ask each and every one of you to tell me the color of the phone without even opening up your mouth. Don't open up your mouth. Just tell me the color of the phone after 3. 1, 2, 3. I guarantee you we all said black. But I didn't open up my mouth. But I heard myself, right? I spoke it. I heard myself, but I didn't open up my mouth. And that's what it means. Those who have eyes, let them see, and ears, let them hear. You see, once you're able to speak from within and hear from within, then you're able to discern between what's right and wrong, between the devil, the characteristics of the devil, and the characteristics of what we call the Great Spirit, or what you call God. It is all within you. That voice is in the temple, the body. The body is not you. The body is just the transportation, it's the vehicle. It's like a car, okay? Your car will not move unless you get in the car, stop the ignition, put it in drive, and go forward. But until then, that car is always parked. It's the same thing with your body. If the I am in you don't get up and be active, that body is going to fall. So you determine what energy you want to rule your life. And when I say your life, I'm talking about this physical body. Because the only ruler that you have is you. You are self-governed. That's what you don't know. But yet still we take that authority that we have in us and we give it to external governments to rule our lives and give us codes and statutes, the laws and the rules of men. A man is not supposed to tell another man what to do. Because every man is supposed to know how to be honorable. But you see, we have lost honor. We have lost favor with the Great Spirit. We have lost favor with our ancestors, and we have to come back in their good grace again. How do you do that? First rule, the first rule is to love yourself first. Then learn to love others and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Just start practicing that every single day. And I guarantee you, you will start seeing the changes. Your life will change. Things will get easier. And that's facts. All right. So I just wanted to conclude on that. And I'm glad I did. So you guys, once again, this is it. All right. You know, Michael Jackson said, this is it, right? I promise you I'm not going to fall. Okay. I'm just saying this is it. And yeah, man, you know, like I said, look out for each other. You see, right before I go, you see what Chris Brown did, right? Russell Wilson. He's married to Sierra. That's how we're supposed to take care of our women. Give them true freedom. He did something that Michael Jackson did and Prince did and lost their life for that. And he said, you know what? I may lose my life, but I'm going to buy the masters of all my wife albums because I want my children. I don't want them to be slaves. That's how a man is supposed to take care of his woman. You feel me? Yes, his life could have been in danger. It may be because Michael Jackson and Prince lost their life because they bought their masters. What happened? Chris Brown bought his masters. What happened? All of a sudden, he caught a rape charge in France. But that brother, he bought his masters for his wife. That's how you honor our women. Because they deserve it. They have been through too much. And it's time that we stop allowing these other people, these other ethnic groups, I don't care what it is, these authorities to disrespect our women. There's no reason why we should have video phones videotaping when a sister face is being bashed in. You feel me? That's what real men do. I'm not here to judge you. You know if you're a good man or not. You know. Because nobody knows but you. Okay? I will not stand anywhere and see a sister face get bashed in. I don't care who it is. Yes, I will put my physical life at risk. I've done it before, and I'll do it again. Because I'm a man, a real man. That's what they do. And real men handle their responsibilities. They take care of their children. Even if the woman is disgruntled, she's hateful, she's vindictive, a real man find a way. Because that's what real men do. And real women do the same thing. They support and take care of their own. And that's how we're going to become wholesome again. Everybody play their part to change. All right? Stop looking at me to change. I'm not looking at you to change. I'm going to change me. I'm going to play my part. And if everybody just focus on them, look in the mirror and work on you, then the whole will come together. All right? So have a great continuation, and we will talk soon. Peace, love, harmony, and light. I'm out.